All right, guys, welcome to the noon Zoom, Dr. Doug Firebaugh's noon Zoom that he opens up his coaching every single Friday to everybody in the home business industry, or if you're just an entrepreneur, not just an entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur and want to come in and get some great coaching. A lot of it is mindset. A lot of it is tools you can apply to your business right away. A lot of closing, a lot of training just from amazing leaders like Whitney, who was in here earlier this week. Doug is traveling this week, so he asked me to take over this Friday, and I said, absolutely. I'm super excited to be able to be with this group of people. This is really what we call a mastermind, right? Like this is a place where we're all coming together. We're sharing ideas. We open it up at the end. We talk about the topic. We share our own tips and tricks and stuff that's working for us as well, and really support each other as a community. So if you're here today, and you know that somebody needs to be here next week, make sure to send them the link, the noonzoom.com link, so that they can join. I just think it's so amazing that Dr. Doug has opened that up, because people can pay him thousands of dollars for the coaching that he gives here for free to this whole place that we have here right now. My name is Angel Chandler. For those of you who may not know me, Doug has been my mentor for over 10 years now. I was fortunate enough to be able to come across his Millionaire Road radio show. Hi, Jennifer, welcome. His Millionaire Road radio show back in the day. I don't know if any of you guys followed him back then too, but I would listen to that every single day. It became my motivation. It became my wisdom. I would just listen to his words, and he would, light up my days, give me a hope for a greater future at a time in my life where I wasn't that feeling that great about myself, right? I wasn't in a great situation. I wasn't, I had just come into the network marketing profession. I was learning, I was brand new. But today we're going to be talking about leadership. Here comes in a great leader, Mr. Victor. Hey, Victor, welcome. We're going to be talking about magnetic leadership today. And I'm going to go into, I only have 3 slides that we'll go into, but when we talk about leadership, that is something that no matter what happens, you can build teams, you can have a company fall apart, you can have a team fall apart, you can have, products not work, you can have a company just fail, but your leadership skills are something that is yours, that you can take with you anywhere you go. And leadership skills are something that I believe we should be building constantly. And you may sit and think, well, right now, I don't really feel like a leader. I don't have a team. I don't feel like I have those skills. I don't feel like I yet can lead a team of people. I don't feel like I've done what I need to do to be able to show other people how to do it. And if you're in that space, that's fine. The first person that you need to lead is you. I'm just trying to let Peg in here. Sometimes the bar comes down and I can't. I think I'm going to try it this way. Here we go. So the first person you need to lead is yourself. We need to become the best leaders of ourselves. We need to start to believe in ourselves as leaders. We need to start to believe that when our perfect team does come in, when our perfect people come and find us, when we are having those conversations, we are a leader. And, some people are saying you're born a leader or you're born a follower. No matter what you feel like you were born as, you can build into a leader. And people can see you as a leader. And we're going to talk today about other skills that you may have that you're not identifying your leadership qualities in, because you're just basing how you see yourself in network marketing simply on your success in this space. Meanwhile, you can have accolades that you can be sharing, and you can be, enticing others to come and join you and take a look based on what you have. So I'm going to start to screen share here. All right. And can you guys see the screen? Okay. Thank you, Charmaine. I'll go into slideshow. All right, move this toolbar up so it's not in my way. So again, we're going to be talking about magnetic leadership, which is leading with authenticity and magnetism, cultivating the traits of powerful leadership. We're going to first talk about authentic leadership and what that means, being an authentic leader, being a leader that people feel comfortable to come to with their questions, their concerns. We are problem solvers. So being authentic as a leader is the first skill that you really want to master so that people feel comfortable in those situations with you. So what is being an authentic leader? The first question you want to ask yourself is, who are you? Not just who you are as a leader, not just who you are in your company, not just who you are with your products, but who are you? What is your mission statement? Have you stopped and wrote that down for your life? Yes, it likely has a lot to do with what you see here in your business. It likely has a lot to do with where you're going. But what does that mission statement look like for you? I was talking about this with my team, a couple of team members this week. What is it? What is your statement? What is your and some of us are on a different training this week. We were talking about avatars. Who are the people you want to work with? And how do they fit into that mission statement? A lot of times we like to just kind of cast out a net and hope somebody's going to fall in and we're going to bring them into our team. But be more selective in the energy that you're putting in there, in the way that you're presenting yourself. And you're going to attract the right people who want to work with you and fit in that mission statement. And then what do you love to do? A lot of times I've been training in home business for many years now and worked with hundreds of people. And everybody wants to learn that next new thing that's working. What's the new thing in social media that's working? What's that thing that people are doing with funnels? What are people doing? Do I need to buy leads? Do I need to do this? What do you love to do? Do you love to get on Facebook and do lives? Do you love to post on Instagram? Do you love to just reach out to people and talk to them? Do you love doing a face-to-face conversation? Are you that person that can walk up to somebody on the street, give them a compliment and fire up that conversation, collect their phone number, let them know that you're somebody authentic? What is it that you love to do? And I always say, pick what you love to do. The thing that you're going to wake up every single morning and it's not going to feel like work. The thing that you can do at least 5 times a day that isn't going to feel like, oh my gosh, I got to work my business today, or oh no, I got to go do that thing that I'm really not that comfortable with. So I'm probably going to avoid doing it. I'm going to find, 15 different things that I'm going to do instead, because I really don't like to do that. Even though my leader or my upline told me to do this, I don't like it. So I'm not going to do it. So really think about what you like to do. What platform is your best recruiting platform? I love LinkedIn personally. I love conversations on LinkedIn. I'm a very direct business person. I came into network marketing because of the business opportunity. Yes, I love health and wellness and products, but I like helping moms. I want to help the moms like me that, I went from being a struggling stay-at-home mom to now a full-time single mom, right? That my mission statement has evolved, but I know that that's who I am. So I love going onto LinkedIn and having conversations with women and talking to them and being like, hey, I'd love to show you another option for income if you're open to taking a look. I'm very direct with my conversations, and I like working with business people. I've also evolved over the years to be able to become a leader that is confident in approaching somebody who's already successful in what they're already doing and provide them with a different option. So really that'll evolve for you. So whatever your mission statement is now, or whatever you love to do now, it may change. And that's okay. But you need to get comfortable with what it is right now that is going to fuel you to go out and have those conversations. And then building trust through transparency. I like, when we talk about authentic leaders, I like authentic leaders. I like leaders that are transparent. I like leaders that will say, hey, let's try this. It may not work, it may work, but let's do this. A leader who's coming in and giving different options, or saying, why don't we try tweaking this and let's come back together and we'll see if that's worked for you? Or why don't you start saying something like this instead and see how that works for you? Being transparent in that, hey, you don't have all the answers. You're also a leader that's evolving and growing with them, but just being transparent about the company, about where you're at, about things that might be going on. Sometimes when you're in a new company, and I'm sure we've all probably been in this situation where things can go wrong, right? Credit cards may not process, the site may go down, products may not get shipped in time. Being a transparent leader is somebody who's able to say, you know what? These things are happening. I know the company will make it right for you. I know we're working on this and fixing it, but isn't it great that we're in a company at a time where these things are happening, because we're getting so much busier and because we're still somewhat new, right? Somewhat fixing some of the things that might go wrong. And so just being transparent, not trying to hide it, not trying to blame somebody else, not trying to, act like, oh, the world's falling and that you're going to go out there and fix it yourself. Just being transparent. I've had, leaders before who, even when we talk about other situations, they wouldn't give their team coaching until their team hit a certain rank. And I remember coming to Doug about that and saying, hey, so I'm on this team, and this is what my upline has said to me, that he's not going to give me his time until I show him that I'm hitting this rank. And he was like, oh, and Doug's advice to me at that time was, treat your team like your best customers. Give them the time. If you have a team member that is asking for help, that is asking for guidance, help them. Be transparent, be an authentic leader that's going to reach out and help them. And then embrace your own vulnerability. A lot of times as leaders, we also think we have to put on this face of, I've got through this, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm here now. I am the leader. I'm going to lead you. We don't need to talk about me. But a vulnerable leader is so attractive when you're able to share. And we're going to talk a bit about your story and stuff in the next slide here. Oops, can I get Jennifer in here? Embracing that with your team. That doesn't mean complaining. That doesn't mean every time you talk to your team, it's a pity show, or this is what's happened in my life, or this is what's going on, and all the negative things. That's not what vulnerability means. It means having conversations where you're getting to know each other as real people, not just as team members. In a team, you're going to keep people who feel like they know you. I've been on teams with leaders who are seen as these massive leaders in the profession, but I didn't know them. They never reached out to talk to me. I didn't earn that right, I guess, but they also put on this face of, this is me. I'm $1 million earner. I'm unreachable, right? And so no matter what level you're at, no matter how much success you've created, you look at somebody like Alan, who, Doug calls him 80,000 auto ship Alan. Look at how vulnerable he is when he comes on here and shares and trains, right? He's a real person. You feel like you could call up Alan and have a conversation for probably 30 minutes just about life before you even get to business, right? And that's the same with Doug. Doug is, he shares from his heart. God speaks through him. He's such an authentic leader. And that's why we come to him for his wisdom all the time, because he never takes the credit. He always gives it to God. But we come to him because we know God is downloading through him this wisdom for us, for our businesses. And then check in with your team. Don't wait for your team to come to you. Even if you only have one person, don't wait. Check in with them every single week. If you haven't heard from them for a few days, just say, hey, Amanda, hey, I just wanted to check in. Haven't talked to you for a few days. How are things going? I know it's busy. I know it's the summer. I know it's going to be back to school soon. How are things going? Can I help you with anything? Do you want to chat for a few minutes? Do you want to catch up? I'd love to know what's going on in your life. Maybe it's your customers. Hey, I wanted to check in, Charmaine. I know you've been using the product now for a couple of weeks. How are you? How are you liking it? What results are you getting? Did you have any questions? Did you have anything that you need to know more about? Can I send you any more information? Would love to catch up and just see how things are going for you. Checking in with your team, set a day for it. I love reminders on my phone, hey, check in with so-and-so. Hey, check in with so-and-so. If you haven't heard from them, they are not going to reach out to you. Sometimes we get blessed with these, go-getter driven people who are going to check in with you every single day and be like, yes, I'm a part of the team. I'm going. But most of the time you're going to recruit somebody who's going, oh, I didn't have the success I wanted this week. I'm a little bit of ashamed. We always want to please our people that we've joined. We always want to show them that we're creating success. Chances are those are the things going on in their head. So don't take somebody not coming to you as an indication that they're out. They're definitely probably still in, but they want to know that you care and that you're the leader that's going to reach out to them. And so after you've worked on all of those skills, you become a magnetic leader. And magnetic leadership to me is somebody where I can watch them on a video, I can hear them speak, I can hear them train, and I go, I want more. I want to know more about them. I want more of their training. Where else can I get a hold of their training? When my team started coming on to Doug's free Zoom here, it's where can I get more of Doug? Where else can I plug into him? Because he's a magnetic leader. Doug doesn't go out there and sell himself. He doesn't go out there and say, hey, this is the next thing I have. You can buy this, or hey, go here. He never does that. People ask for it because they're hungry for more from him. So become a professional vision caster on your team. Create a vision, maybe meet with your team this weekend or next week. What is your core vision together? What is it that you're all going after? What is your mission and vision statement for your team? What is it that makes you guys stand out? And then when you talk to people, just become a pro at casting that vision every single time you're talking about what you're doing. People are attracted to somebody who knows where they're going. And maybe you have 0 team members, maybe you have 1 or 2, but that doesn't mean you don't know where you're going. And when you're casting your vision, you can be talking about the leaders on your team. Like, listen, I've locked arms with people who have created 7 figures in this industry. They're teaching me what to do. I can see where I'm going with this. I'm looking for people that are hungry for more like me, people who want more in their life, people who maybe just need an extra little bit of money each month, because that is, something everybody's looking for right now. I would love to bring you into our space. Just take a peek, take a look at what we're doing. With our team, we allow people to come in and see our trainings. We allow people to come in and see our step-by-step training before they commit. We want them to see and know that they're coming into a place where we're real people with a vision, with a mission, right? So talk to your team about that this week, or yourself. If you are your own team, or maybe you're faith-based and it's you and God, have a conversation and really understand what that vision is. And then craft your own story. Where have you been? What are you doing now? And where are you going? We sometimes think, oh, I've told that story over and over again. I'm sure people that I've talked in front of are like, oh, I've heard her story already. But you know what? Chances are there's 1, 2, 3 people on that Zoom or on that live or on that presentation or in that audience that haven't heard that story. And that story is going to move them. So craft your story and celebrate other people who are sharing their stories. Use other people's stories. Use the story of somebody who's come through and where they're going and what they've created and why you're here with that, and why you believe in that story and why that story moved you. And maybe you're evolving your story right now. Maybe sometimes I've talked to people who think that they don't have enough hardships in their past to have a story that's worth listening to now. And I always say, no, like then use somebody else's story and build your story now. You're building that story right now, this moment in your life. I came in, I was building a team. I got into these masterminds with this guy, Dr. Doug Firebaugh. He was incredible. He gave me so much training. There were leaders on there that we met with and they shared their training. And I built myself as a leader. And now I am where I am now. Now I'm building a team and I'm so excited about it. That can be your story right now. It doesn't have to be, when I was 5, this happened and I went through all this stuff. Your story is, who are you right now? What motivated you to come into this? What drove you to say, yes, I raised my hand for network marketing because I saw a better future for me, for my kids, for my family. I want to do things with charities. I want to go out and I want to build orphanages. I see people doing that out there. Your story is your own story. And it all attaches also to that mission statement that we talked about for yourself as well, right? Who are you? The core of a magnetic leader is being so authentic and having people know who you are and what your story is. Servant leadership is huge. Being a leader to your leaders and putting out your hand to them. We talked about this a bit when we talked about reaching out to your team and connecting with your team. Being a servant leader is something that it's almost natural inside of you. And the people who are here right now, and I know this for a fact, everybody here is a giver. Everybody here loves people. Everybody here wants to help people. And you're servant leaders because you want to make sure that if I know that Michelle's reason for being here was that she wanted to make some extra money and she has all these goals she wants to do and she just needs something different in her life and she wants a purpose, I'm going to reach out to Michelle and be like, hey, remember when we talked a few months ago when you first came in and this is the reason you were here? I want to help you get there. What can I do? How can I serve you? What is it that you need? Do we need more Zooms? Do you need some Zooms for your people? What is it that I can do to serve you? And then servant leadership also comes into when you see people with their companies going and, they go on these trips, but they go and they serve somewhere. They go and they help schools or they go and they build homes and people see that. And that is the heart. That is the core heart of who we are as network marketers. Effective communication is key. This also attaches to a few of the things that we talked about, but being a good communicator, stopping and listening. Don't think you know what's right for your team. If I told Mary Kay what I think is right for her and what she needs to be doing, she could say, you don't know me at all. You're not even listening to me. That's not at all what I said I want to do, right? Effective communication means listening to the needs. Don't assume you know it all. Don't assume you know everything going on in your team. Don't assume you know somebody's situation. Don't assume you know what they want to do. Sometimes we bring in somebody who we think is going to be maybe a lower level player or somebody who's not going to build a big team. But meanwhile, we may not know that they have a connection to a massive network and they just don't know how to reach out to it yet. So effective communication and understanding your team's surroundings, understanding where they're at, understanding what they want to have, and then communicating effectively with them and being someone, again, I can't say this enough, having them be comfortable to talk to you. Because when I was in those teams with those leaders where we weren't getting their time, or where they thought they were, bigger than anything, there was not effective communication, because I never felt like I could go to them and be like, listen, this is kind of a stumbling block I'm having mindset wise. For some reason, I can't get over this one mental block. Could you help me? There's no way that they would have done that for me. But I know the people on here, if your team comes to you and asks you a question like that, you're going to sit down and listen, right? You're going to say, okay, what is the mental block? What is it that's stopping you? What are the thoughts going on in your head? When you're about to pick up that phone, what goes through your head that makes you put it down? When you wake up in the morning and your list is there and you see it and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this today. And then you go to bed at night and nothing's been checked off. What is it that stopped you? Is it a fear of success? Is it a fear of rejection? Is it a fear of failure? It can be so many different thoughts that people are having, but really being able to understand that each person's going to be different. There is no, cut and paste for each person, and they could each be going through their own thing. Having your own emotional intelligence. There's one thing about being vulnerable, and then like I said, there's another thing where do not sit there and be a negative leader. Be intelligent. Have that emotional intelligence where you know what is appropriate and what isn't when you're leading a team. How to, when things may spiral off and things may go on and there may be team drama and there may be all this, how to not become a part of it and instead solve it. How to separate some people and be able to say, okay, I know this group needs to hear this. I know this group may need a little bit more of this. Being an emotionally intelligent leader means you can separate yourself from anything going on in your team, anything in your company, look at it logically, and come up with a solution to present to everybody. And then, of course, a powerful motivator. How do we motivate as leaders? We lead by example, being out there in the field. Look at Alan. Look at the success he has, but he is out there doing it. He's out there with his team. He's out there working all the time. He doesn't stop. He could stop if he wanted to, but he doesn't, because he's a powerful motivator. And that's why he's so successful. That's why people stay with him. That's why he has all of those auto ships, is because people are watching him lead by example. If you're a leader that just sits back, recruits a few people who are great, and all you think you have to do is talk to them and help them grow, they're going to eventually see that you're not doing the work. And they're going to start asking themselves, why am I with this leader? Where else could I be? That's when you really look at attrition and you go, okay, am I leading effectively? Am I motivating my people? Do we need to go and do a blitz over the next 90 days? How am I looking ahead to fall or Christmas or everything that's coming ahead? How am I motivating them now? Yes, we're in August, but what's ahead in these next few months for your team? What could you be doing now that's going to get them excited about the fall, keep them growing throughout the fall? We know then that Christmas lull comes, right? So what can you do now to keep that team going and that momentum going? And how can you motivate them? Have motivational calls. Have a time where you're celebrating people, where you're motivating them. Maybe you're having a call on Mondays and you're saying, hey guys, it's a new week. These are our goals. These are the things we have going on. We have this sale. We have this offer going on. Anything you can be sharing to really motivate them and really get them excited that they're in the right place at the right time with the right leadership. And then use your own skills as a recruiting tool. So magnetic leadership, most of us think, okay, I'm attracting people to me by being a magnetic leader. And that's exactly what we are doing. And I want to talk, I think Peg's on here. Peg is an incredible social media marketer. She could offer her skills outside of her team, but why not use that as an awesome recruiting tool? When people reach out to her, say, hey, yeah, for sure, I can show you what I do, but I'd love to show you the team I'm on too, because I give my team my full time. Yes, I have success in social media, but I save kind of those real secrets for my team. You could pay for it in coaching if you wanted to, but I'd love to have you come into the team. You get a great product with it, and I can show you. Donna is on here. She's an amazing life coach. She takes her skills as a life coach and gives them to her team, so she can motivate them. She can talk to them about mindset. She's got all these other skills. Charmaine, I've talked to her. She's had incredible success in sales with her company. So that is an effective tool. She's a sales leader. So even though, you may come into network marketing and think, oh, what do I have to offer until I build a massive team? No, you have so many other skills. Look at Alan. Using that fact that he has 80,000 auto ships, that is a massive recruiting tool, because he can say to somebody, look, I don't know what you're taking a look at, but I have this skill. This is what I've done. This is what I've created. And I would love to come in and show you how I've done that. The only way I can show you is if you come in and work with me, because I could try to explain it to you. You could pay for some expensive coaching with me, but then you're just going to be working on your own and you don't have me one-on-one. I'd love to share with you one-on-one, come in, take you under my arm and show you exactly what I'm doing. So that was today's training. I'm going to open it up to everybody here to get everybody's thoughts on this. And again, for those of you who kind of came in while we were, while I was talking there, I'm not good at doing the admitting and then stopping and talking, so I had to stay in that flow. But for those of you who have joined us while I was talking, Dr. Doug gave me the reins here on his noon Zoom, and hopefully he doesn't regret it. But so I came in and talked about magnetic leadership. So we'll just kind of go around. Alan, thank you so much for joining us. I hear your air conditioning went out.
So the air conditioner went out of the motorhome, and right there's the motorhome. And so I'm in Forest City, Iowa. I had a little 3-day layover here, 3 or 4 days, I don't know. But it is what it is, you know. And I always say, hey, God put me here for a reason, and I'm hanging out, and I've met some cool people, and it's been a blast. And I got a new member while I was here, a new partner. You know, yeah. So
Always,
but thanks. What a great. So listen, what a great training that is about being magnetic leader. You know, and it's just I know that's who you are, and I know that's the type of leader you are, and that's how you're able to speak so passionately about it. You know, because that's what it's all about, is to be able to, you know, I think last time I looked, I've got 360,000 people on my team, including customers. And I don't say that to impress anybody. I'd say that to impress upon you that one of the things that I was taught a long time ago was you reach down to that brand new person and you reach out to that brand new person and you let them know, I give out my cell phone. And I have to tell people all the time, now listen, my phone rings a lot. And so please send me a text message telling me, give me your name and your email address so I can record you into my contact list, so that if you do call me, I will know who it is, you know. And I put little notes in there too. I've got over 20,000 contacts in my iPhone. And so, you know, your message is so spot on. And that is that, you know, in order to have true success, you know, we talk about recruiting people, saying people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and they stay with people they know, like, and trust. And they know, like, and trust you, and that's why they stay with you and they follow you. I'm from the South, so you talk a little fast for me, but I was trying to I was trying to drive and do screenshots of your presentation. But listen, that was absolutely amazing. Kudos to you. What a great training that is. And my takeaway, and thank you for asking me, but if anybody learned anything about that, and that is this: I was a restaurant entrepreneur in my first life. I was one of the original founders of Lone Star Steakhouse. I owned a Pizza Hut franchise. We had 136 Pizza Huts. Well, we actually had 134 Pizza Huts and a Taco Bell and a KFC, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the deal: is when I went into those restaurants, I remembered names and I read name tags and I addressed people personally. And I spent 3 weeks out of every month on the road shaking hands and kissing babies. And I say that ironically, like, you know, politicians, it's about to be election year and they'll be out shaking hands and kissing babies. But this business is no different. And I think the way you just presented that and the information you just gave, if anybody on this call take everything that you just said and implement it, and you'll see your business explode. So what an awesome training. I appreciate that, and you did an awesome job.
Oh, thank you so much, Alan. I appreciate you. Congratulations on your new distributor. You were in the right place at the right time, or they were.
Well, I think I'm coming towards Canada. I don't know how close to Canada you are, or the United States you are, but if we get, I'm going up to the very top of Michigan, over there where that island is. That
Okay.
What's that bridge? Wackamal,
I don't know.
Buckaball. I don't know. I don't know if you're close to that. Mackinac, there it is. Yeah, Whitney knows the deal. So I don't know if you're close to that and can sneak across the border, but we'd love to grab a cup of coffee or something if you're going to be in the area.
Thank you.
And we're going to see
I'm just right above North Dakota. I'm a little bit further over, so I'm in Manitoba, right in the center.
Hey, listen, here's a little carrot for you. We're going to be meeting with Doug.
I know. I know.
So pack
Thanksgiving
your
road
bag
trip.
and come on, pack your bag and come on over.
You bet.
All right.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you for letting me participate. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for coming on. And Alan shared something about getting those contacts. I think that was a great tip. And I'm going to call on Peg if she can. I don't know if I know Peg might be working, but Peg gave me a great tip a couple of weeks ago that inside of your contact, you can keep a bunch of notes about them in there. And I personally didn't know that. You can put videos in there. You can put anything that is relating to that person as your contact within that list there rather than having separate lists for everybody. And I love that. Peg's in the office. No problem, Peg. Whitney, what's your takeaway for today?
Oh my gosh, so good, Angel. I am so glad that you subbed in today and agreed to do that because it was just spot on. And the couple of things that really stuck out to me, and I've heard this twice this week, so it's like extra sticking out, like it's something I really need to write down and make it plain, right? Like make the vision plain, is casting that vision and what am I about and what is my team about? What are our core values? And that way too, when you have those plain and you talk to your team about them plainly, and then somebody does something outside of that, you have them to point back to. So it's not just like you being mean or you being nitpicky. If you've laid out core values and be like, oh, sorry, that doesn't meet our value, or they get, I don't know, looked over to host a training call or something, be like, I'm sorry, but I've been seeing this in you. And until you get that changed, like, I'm not going to put you in front of the whole team. And so when you have that list to kind of send everybody back to and everybody knows about it, it takes, I mean, is pressure the right word, but takes the pressure off you to discipline, for lack of a better word, people. And then the second thing was listening. And we talk a lot about listening to someone we may be talking to about our products or business. Listen for their pain points, listen to what they're saying. Don't just wait for them to finish so you can pitch them, right? But what you added on today to me and stuck out to me was doing that for your team too. If somebody hasn't called you and hasn't checked in, call them and listen to what's going on. Don't just call them and say, hey, are you working your business? What's going on? I haven't heard from you this week. I haven't seen any signups. Like, just call and talk to them and say, hey, how's your week been? What's been going on? What have you been up to? Because they're a person first, right? Like, we don't actually just want them on our team for the number. Like, I know you and I are very similar in that we want to help moms stand very strong, right? Like whether it's because you're in a single parent situation or just because you want to add value to your family or you see the value in multiple streams of income for your family. They're a person first, and we want to help them succeed and not just help them succeed because we want our paycheck to be bigger. Don't get me wrong, we love that as a bonus, but that's not the first thing, right? So that's me for today.
I love that. And that also comes back to just not being weird, right? We get weird. when we benefit from somebody else, we get weird and then we don't act like a normal person. And yeah, so just bringing it back to being human. Thank you, Whitney. Charmaine, what is your takeaway today?
I was writing down, don't be weird. So thank you, Alan, for sharing, because you're absolutely right. It is important to reach out to the new person. And we've heard from Alan before, but what I do like is that he does share about how he has gone into, previously to his restaurants or to meeting new people. And I like how you said, text me your name, your email. So when I get a phone call, I'll know who it is. So I know it's not someone I need to block. So thanks for that tip. And I agree with Alan. Your training was awesome, Angel. So I appreciate it. And I agree with Whitney too, to listen for the pain point and instead of what we want to share, because yes, the other person is, who was saying that, I think Alan had said it before, I heard it before too, is make me feel important, see me, value me. And the other thing with listening is clear the time, right? If you're going to call someone and you're thinking, okay, I have 5 minutes or I have 15 minutes, give them that 5 minutes or the 15 minutes. Don't call and then someone interrupts you. You're like, hang on a second. They're like, hang on a minute, didn't you just call me? So make them feel important by clearing the time, even if it is a short, hey, I was just checking in. What are you doing? And 5 minutes could bring you, so much more value in that relationship, and then give value to the other person as well. And there's a lot of notes that I had taken, but truly, having people be seen, be heard, and thank you. I thank you also that you took on this role today, and that we didn't have to like read our past notes. So back to you.
Thanks, Charmaine. God bless you. I agree. And I think that, we're always thinking ahead to what am I gonna say? So you're thinking of what you're gonna say rather than listening. That was a great point that Whitney made about just listening. Because we do. And I think that especially when we're brand new and we want it so bad, we almost get that desperation, right? Where we are thinking ahead and it's like, okay, I want this to be successful. I have to sign this person up. This is me, 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 me. And we're thinking in that me thought space where all we're wanting to do is rank advance or hit that next level or get that next paycheck. And we're not treating them like a human being. So that's perfect. Mary Kay, what was your takeaway today?
I was just reviewing a couple of things here. There's two things that I really heard from you that haven't been mentioned, and that is be in touch with your core passion. If it's not it's not going to come through as authentic as what you really can be. So take time to really determine what your core passion is, as well as communicate that, like Whitney said, to your team of what we're all about. This is the core. The other part is we all bring something from our previous life, from our previous work experience. Don't disqualify that, because that's who you are. As well as when you bring in a new business partner, qualify them with what they've done in the past to make them feel that they have a value that they're bringing to the team, because they certainly do. Each of our teams is different each day as we bring on different team members. So again, thank you, Angel. I'm so glad I met you on Clubhouse and heard you those many, many, many times. And I just love listening to you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan, too. Safe travels.
No, you're so right. And the whole thing of our core, of being in touch with our core passion, it's an abundant mentality, right? I'm not going to attract the same people as you. We're not going to attract the same people as Alan or Charmaine or Whitney. We're all our own person, and it's okay. And that's who God's made us to be, right? Is to attract the people that are going to see us, hear us, and resonate with us and come in. And absolutely, with the past work experience, there's a girl on our team who she was, a couple weeks ago saying that she wasn't getting the success she was looking for. And she's super successful in her corporate position, but she wasn't having success here. And I just said, the conversations you can be having with people is, hey, I've created great success in the corporate world. I know you have too, but I'm also leveraging a little bit of my time to create more of a time freedom and more of an income freedom, because I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I don't want to be tied to this job for the rest of my life. So I'm working with a group of people who are leveraging their time to build a bigger income together. If you're interested in taking a look at that, and if that's something that you feel you'd be open to taking a look at, I'd love to show it to you, because I'm loving it here. And I'm loving what that's that vision, right? She's building a vision of having a different life. Sure, life's been great and she's been successful, but what does the future look like? So that's awesome. Amanda, what is your takeaway today?
Me? Because I know there's two Amandas.
Right, Amanda J. Sorry, I know Amanda D is usually with her little guy, so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. This was an amazing training. I think I got a lot from all of you, actually. I think that what really stood out to me was the core passion, identifying that, and Dr. Doug talked about this, building your business around your passion. And I love what you said about vulnerability. And I made a list here. I took notes, and I'm actually doing it like, okay, what am I passionate about? Which I know, but also is like vulnerability. Like sometimes it's a little bit hard for me to open up with certain things, but I know that that's something that I need to work on. So I really like what you said about that, and then casting a vision, and everything really, but casting a vision, being vulnerable, and really identifying what you love to do, and building your business around that. So that's something that I need to, I know, sit down and really evaluate, and really, and I've done it, but like you said, it always evolves, when you change. So I love that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. You're welcome. And thank you. And that's something I do every year, right? It's always kind of my New Year's thing, but just sit down. What's changed? Where am I at now? What is my statement? What is my vision? Right. So that's perfect. Thank you. Michelle, are you able to open up? What was your takeaway today? I know you were able to unmute at the beginning. You might be busy now. All right, we're going to go to Victor. How you doing, Victor? Victor, are you there? He may be busy as well. I saw that Victor's influencing other people to share their food. Chris O'Hare, who I think he's been on here a few times, was sharing on his social media. I'm like, look at that, Victor, go. Just awesome. Donna, are you there? Are you able to share what your takeaway is?
I'm here. Hello.
Hi, how are you, pickleball queen?
Oh my gosh. I'm so tired. Beautiful training as always, Angel. I love, getting in touch with our core values, because then we will attract, people who resonate with that, right? I really believe in what you talk about, like being our genuine self, right? Sharing exactly who we are, and really tapping into the skills, like, yes, my life coaching, but I'm a nurse. And you really helped me understand that too. Like, oh, use that credibility, and then getting to know our other team members so that we can, reach out, for a helping hand to our other team members. Like, oh, Charmaine is really good at this. Charmaine, can you, talk to this person? Can you help me a little bit understand this? And just working so genuinely. I love the word genuine. Because when we work that way, people feel our heart and they're attracted to us. And yeah, so thank you for today. It was beautiful. Great job.
Thank you. And we can feel that genuine for ourselves, right? Oh, did Joy leave? I was going to go to Joy next here, but I think she is gone. Jamie, are you there? Are you able to share your takeaway today? Jamie, can you hear me? She may not be able to hear. Brett, is this Brett Matheny? Brett with one T, you're muted.
I'm okay. Hi,
Hey, good
it's
to
Brett
see
with
you.
one T. It's my first time being on this, and and it's good to see you, Angel. So here's what my thoughts are: is how you get them to remember you, and for them to keep you on their mind for whatever impact you had on them. And I'll give you an example. I just was in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Senior Games, and we had over 30,000 athletes, and I made a presentation to about 1,500 of them. So my thing is, what was I going to say? What was going to be my demeanor, my image? How am I going to relate to them? How am I going to listen to them? How am I going to impact their day so they will remember me when they walk away? And that was my ultimate goal, is that I wanted them to remember me, because I wanted them to come back and see me for a revisit to what I was representing. And I also wanted them to reach out to me, if I reached out to them, that they would respond, because they did remember me. Here's my final thought. I gave everybody a token. That token said wellness matters. It had my name on it, it had my phone number, and it also had the Pittsburgh Senior Game, so they'll remember where it is. And I told them, this has value because it's the first time you and I met, and that's the value of the relationship we're building. And so I just wanted to share that experience, because it's the little things that we do, Angel, that really can impact the relationship if it's in the beginning. And then those few touches afterwards can give you a better chance to really get them involved in what you're doing.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. And that's a great thing to share too. Just handing out that token. Hey, I'm the guy that gave you that token. Remember me? Like, that's perfect. That's really smart, Brett. Thanks so much. Thanks. It's good to see you. It's great to have you here. Arliss.
Thank you.
We'll go to Arliss and Rick, and then we'll let you guys go here for the weekend. Arliss. All right, Rick, are you there? Are you able to unmute? All right, I think those two must be busy. Alan, would you do us the pleasure of wrapping up today for us?
I definitely will. So thanks everybody for joining in. Number one, thank you, Angel, for what an awesome presentation. And just remember, the main thing that the message that Angel sent to you is your team members are your most valuable customer. And every single one of them, whether they just joined today or whether they've been here for 10 years. And, you know, everybody is, and you're never too big. You're never too successful. You're never too high in rank, income, whatever. You got to remember where you started. You're never too high in rank or high in position or high in income to talk to every single person, because guess what? One sentence you can give them, one of those little tips that Angel shared, can change their life forever. Thanks, Angel.
Amen. Thank you, Alan. Thanks so much. Thank you, Dr. Doug, for letting me do this. I can't wait to see you guys all next week. Have a blessed weekend. Oh, and Sunday, for those of you who want to join us on God Powered Success. I'm pretty positive, if I'm not mistaken, Alan, if you know any different, but this Sunday at, I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern that we start. And it's at godpoweredsuccess.com. It's a great teaching from Doug on how God wants to work in your business. We see amazing things happen. We hear people come back and they share things that we prayed over, ways things have changed, things that just move in an instant, right? Miracles happen on this call. And it's just an amazing time. We're usually there for about 2 or 3 hours, but it's a fantastic time. So if you can join us on Sunday night, we'd love to see you there. godpoweredsuccess.com. Love you guys. God bless. Have a great weekend. And thanks to all who shared.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.